Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Faith in the Morning. I told you guys I was going to try to give you some morning flavor. Good morning, Miss Gigi. All right, guys, you know how I do. Today is Friday, March 5th, and it is 5:43 in Phoenix. How you doing this morning? All right, the title of the video today is that hater that we love to hate, that hater in distress. And what I mean by that, and I'm going to break it down for you real quickly, is sometimes you have haters that you actually help that hate on you because you're helping them, if that makes any sense. And so to get into it a little bit further, remember a while back I was telling my story about a little home girl that I used to work with, and her mother ended up kicking her out the house. And I felt bad for her because she had children, and I ended up letting her come live with me. And so ever since I made that terrible, 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 horrible decision, it seemed as if she was making my life miserable everywhere we went. It seemed like she was trying to get me into some type of drama. And so today I want to talk about people like that, because these are what I call the haters in distress. You're actually hating them, but they're hating on you while you are helping them. And see, this type of hateration is subtle, very subtle. It's a very, very passive aggressive type of hateration. And it comes off as being completely arrogant and ungrateful, because these people are receiving your help, but at the same time, they're trying to sabotage you. So you have to really, really look out for people like this, because these are truly the backstabbers. And see, I like to, shed a little light and talk about people like this from time to time, because, it doesn't get talked about. The haters that are right up under your nose. This is the same chick. Like I said, I helped her when her mother put her out, helped her get a job, and she, in turn, tried to get me jumped on 2 occasions. And I think she was really, really trying to get me messed up. And on top of that, she even tried to get me fired from the job that I helped her get. And see, a lot of times what happens is when you're calling yourself doing a good deed, and you're calling yourself helping another brother or sister out, you know how we do: help a brother, help a sister. We try to pull one up. We don't want to be that crab in the barrel. Well, we don't know that we're actually reaching our hand down to that crab that's in the barrel. And as soon as you call yourself reaching your hand down to pull them up, they want to pull you down with them, because they don't want to see you on top no way, no how, even if that means elevating themselves. Even if that means that they don't even get to elevate themselves. They would cut off their own nose and spite their face, because that's how much they hating on you. And case in point, right now, I'm dealing with a situation where, I'm helping out a family member. And yeah, it is sad. It's very sad, Miss Gigi, because there are a lot of kind-hearted people out here, in our group. And I'm one of those people where I tend to be soft-hearted towards people, and I always want to help other people. But we got some people in our group that, for whatever reason, things not going right in their life, and they're mad with the world. They're even mad at the people that's trying to help them. So they're fighting everybody. And psychologically, I don't even know what to call that. I probably have to get derail or topaz over here to, psychoanalyze people that do stuff like that. Good morning, Slayer Jim. But like I said, I'm in a situation now, same thing. This person, I allowed them to come into my home because they have a child, same situation. And I'm and letting them, allowing them to stay until they get on their feet, same situation. And the person just came and just completely took advantage, arrogant, disrespectful. And so now it seems as if this person is doing everything they can to disturb my sense of peace and happiness. And that's what they do. Now, before this person came, I was on top, I was peaceful, I was happy. My environment that I created for myself was peaceful and happy. I enjoyed my job. I even, met a nice guy, nice fella. Things going great. Everything's on the up and up. But sometimes people cannot stand to see you being happy and feeling blessed in your life because things are going not so great in theirs. So these are the type of people, they'll do little things like they might try to sleep with your man. This is where you might have a friend that been your friend for a long time. They might try to sleep with your man. Not because they want your man, but maybe because they want to see you unhappy. They want you to feel the unhappiness that they feel when the same thing might have happened to them. And so then there you are, you both are even again. You both have something to commiserate about. I'm telling you that these people do think like this. And while you're helping them, they're trying to destroy you. You got to be very, very careful because when you're around people that got nothing to lose, they don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and you have everything to lose. They're not gonna stop until they see you hit rock bottom, just like where they at, and then they're gonna bounce off to wherever hole they eroded from in the first place and do it all again. I promise you, they will. Now, the reason why I'm also bringing this up is because another topic that I spoke about before, and this is when you allow people to come live with you. It's very, very slippery slope because you have squatter laws out here that protects people that come live with you and they don't contribute and they're in your house wreaking havoc. A police officer told me if you let somebody stay in your house longer than 2 weeks, it's not about them getting mail there. That law isn't valid anymore in a lot of states. But 2 weeks of them being in your place, and if you let it be known that you allowed it to happen or you mess around and like I did, I wrote the person out a lease because the person had a child and she was trying to get public assistance. So I wrote her out a little lease saying that she paid a little bit of money, even though she wasn't, but I was trying to help her. And so later on down the line, when I wanted to put her out, that came back to bite me in the ass because that one little sublease was their proof that we had a landlord tenant agreement. And so when you got something like that, you can't just throw a person out. Now you got to start what you call a 30-day process. So some of these people, they are very, very smart parasites. Some of these people are very, very smart parasites, and they know the laws, and they know exactly how to sink their claws in. Good morning, Joe Deb. Slayer Jim says people may resent you just because you are able to help them. Exactly. And I've had that happen on many, many of an occasion. People that I call myself helping, and they'll tell me all the time, oh, their favorite saying. I know that you guys have probably heard this before. You think you better than me. That's their favorite saying. And to be honest, it's not that you think you're better than them, but you're doing better than them at the time, and you're trying to help their dumb behind out, but they don't appreciate it. So they'll do little things to try to sabotage your situation. Like I said, they'll sleep with your man. If they see you in a happy relationship and they get to see you going out all the time with your guy, then your guy coming over and he buying you gifts, he giving you little flowers and treating you good, talking to you nice, kissing you and hugging on you and stuff like that. If your friend is witnessing this and they're a hater, yeah, they're going to try to throw a monkey wrench in that program right there. And like I said, if they've been in your house for longer than 2 weeks, you're going to have a tough time putting them out. It depends on what police you get. And now during the pandemic, a lot of police officers, I just found out, have been told not to force an eviction if they don't have to. I was just told this not too long ago for my own personal situation. So now you're forced to be a prisoner in your own home, basically, at this time, with somebody that you can't stand. And you got to go and do a formal eviction where you got to be bothered with this person for 30 to 90 days, depending on where you live. So beware of extending that helping hand to just any old body. Beware of that because it's coming back to bite me right now. And I'm going to tell you how you get around something like that because, you know, I would not wish a situation like this on my worst enemy. I wouldn't. Because then once the person realized that they so-called got these alleged squatter rights in your residence, oh, they won't pay bills. They'll walk around purposely breaking shit. They won't clean up. You got some people that are just dirty and low down like that. Because it's your stuff, they're going to try to make sure that they do something to mess it up for you. And because the apartment is in your name and they don't have no liabilities for what get broken up in there, that's even more the devil's playground for them. Now, I really, really do believe that these squatter laws need to be revised because that puts the person that's living in a situation like this at a grave disadvantage. But once again, there's a way that you can go about getting around all that. And that way is called the good old order of protection. See, what a lot of people don't know is all you got to do is go down to your local municipal court, any one of them, and file an order of protection against the person living with you. And in the order of protection, you list your home address as a protected residence. And because you are the person, the plaintiff in the order of protection, you have full rights to the residence, and that person will be ordered to leave. And you can get that order of protection that very same day, and the constable will go out that very same day and serve them that order and make them leave. It's unfortunate that you got to go through all that to get rid of a freeloader. It's real unfortunate. But, now you know what you got to do. Because I had to go through. Oh, I've been going through. And what I don't understand is I never understood people that want to stay somewhere where they're not wanted. Me, I've always had pride. If someone tells me they don't want me somewhere, you ain't got to say it twice. The first time you say, I don't want you here, I'm gone. And don't get me wrong, I ain't too proud to say Faith have been homeless before. I remember one time I slept in my car for 2 days before I found my own little spot. But I would rather sleep in my car than spend one night under a roof where someone tells me that I'm not wanted. That's just how I am. Slayer Jim says there is a family that can't or couldn't get a nanny. They fired out of their home because of the residency laws. Exactly. Exactly. And see, these residency laws, they are completely problematic. Because here's the thing. You have a person under your roof, and this person is doing things under your roof that is contrary to how you live. And they are provoking you into these domestic violence situations. So now, if they're tearing up stuff in the home, there's nothing that you could do about it, because if you lay a finger on them, you're going to jail. And if you call the police because you have because they have established some sort of residency, they won't put them out. So the only way you can get them out is if you serve them an order of protection. That's the only way that you're going to get them out ASAP. Other than that, then you got to go the 30, 90-day route, and that's a long process, and it costs a lot of money. The order of protection is actually free and faster. Word to the wise. If you want somebody out your house ASAP without having to spend any money, the order of protection is free and is faster. So that's what I had to do to get rid of somebody that I didn't want in my home. And I'm telling you, they thought that they had, me over the barrel. They was in my place tearing some stuff up. And I was like, oh, hell to the no, no, no. Down to the courthouse I go. And I mean, same day hearings for order of protections. Those are expedited, because that means that you are in a situation where you need to be protected immediately. So order of protections are expedited. So this is something that you can get same freaking day. An eviction that can go on for 30 to 90 days, and it costs hella money. Yes, Slayer Jim. I was I was like taken aback when I found out about it too. I was like, wow, this right here to get rid of somebody that you don't want in your home. But you know what? There has to be a real mental disconnect with a person that wants to live under somebody else's roof that don't want them there. Like I said, some people don't have no pride about themselves whatsoever. And they hate you so much that they would want to live under a roof with you so that they can torture you. That's all that is. They don't want to get out from around you. They hate you so much, they want to stay around you just so that they can torture you. That is a sick human being, a sociopath. But come to find out, during this pandemic, there's a lot of sociopaths out here. Beware of letting people in your house. Know who you're letting in there. I'm not saying don't ever help anybody, but I don't know. I mean, this after this situation that I was just in with this particular family member, that had really put a bad taste in my mouth for helping other people. I'm just gonna be honest. But yeah, you got the haters in distress. And what's so crazy is they need you, but they hate you. You ever pick somebody up in your car and drive them around the world using up your gas trying to help them, and they don't offer not one time to put a nickel or a dime of gas in your tank? Ungrateful Negroes. I'll never forget, case in point, my sister, she, her mother-in-law, we were in Chicago. We lived on the south side, and she lived way, way out somewhere in the suburbs. It was like maybe a hour drive from where we were at. And I looked at my sister because I was just expecting to drop her off at the train station just so she could, get her little train and go home. And this heifer sat back there in the car because, first of all, this is my first time meeting her. Okay, I had never met my sister's mother in law before. The lady came out and got in my car like I was a taxi driver and then didn't say hello or anything. I even say hello to my Uber driver when my Uber driver arrives to pick me up. She just jumped her fat ass in the back of my car and didn't say nothing to me. And so when I pulled up in front of the train station, because I thought that's where she was going, I didn't think that I would be driving her a whole hour away from where I live. And my sister said, "Oh, no, no, we taking her all the way home." And she had the nerve to sit back there and roll her eyes at me when we pulled up to the train station. I'm telling you that I promise you, this is what she did. And I looked at my gas tank. I had just filled up my gas tank. I said, okay, give me the address. So I drove her all the way out to her house. It was an hour away. She gets her fat ass out the car and don't say thank you or nothing. No thank you, no goodbye or nothing. No, can I put a couple of dollars in your tank? I really appreciate the ride. Nothing. And so when she got out the car, I gave her a sarcastic, "You're welcome." And she was like, "What you mean you welcome? I ain't wanna ride this old raggedy thing, no way." She who have no car talking about my car wreck. But it's always raggedy when it come time for you to talk about maybe putting some gas money in the car. That's when people want to minimize what you got. Oh, then I didn't want to ride the little raggedy car. Everything little after that. Your little raggedy car. I'm telling you, these people have problems, mental problems. They're always needing something. They're always in distress, but they hate you while they need you. Now she probably sitting back there hating the fact I even got a car, hating the fact that she even got to be sitting up in my car. I don't know what the hell was going on with it. But I see people like this all the time. They never can seem to get their lives together. They always need somebody to help them. And then when a person helps them, they turn around and talk about that person behind their back. And see, usually when I meet up with people like this, I don't engage. I don't engage. Just like my aunt, she took in her nephew who has a mental problem. The mother, she was losing her apartment, and so she had to go and stay with other family members while she get on her feet. So my aunt, that was taking care of her son, she's doing everything that she can to help her and help the son and all this type of stuff. Even found them a new place to stay. And so I was over there, at the new place with her, helping her, unpack some things. The family always come together, try to help each other. And so my aunt left to go to the dollar store to buy her some plates. She didn't have any dishes or anything in her house. So, they sell the little dollar store plates. So she said, "Oh, I'll go get you some." No sooner than she had stepped out and left, this woman started talking about her sister like a dog to me. The same sister that took her son in, the same sister that helped her get the place that she's at now, and the same sister that, as she was talking about her, was at the dollar store buying her dishes. And I sat there and I had to fight my tongue. I'm thinking to myself, this is some ungrateful shit right here. How you gonna sit up here and talk about this woman and help you all this time? Is she gonna talking about some how she wasn't really taking care of this boy and she didn't like this and she didn't like that? I'm thinking to myself, you were lucky somebody was there to take him in. Boy, she talked down on everybody that helped her. And I said to myself, I am so glad you're doing this because now I know not to help you if you ever need help again. And see, when you run into people like this, don't let them engage you or draw you in. Because these are definitely the haters in distress. And they're always in a situation where they need somebody, but they're talking about that person like a dog. Don't let them engage you. Don't let them draw you in. Oh, what's up, Yanimization? He says, hey, Faye, Yanimization. And I'm not going to say that's everybody because there are some people that truly do appreciate when people help them and they know they remember their manners, they remember to say thank you, and they show and express gratitude. But these haters in distress, they don't know nothing about gratitude. They don't know nothing about thank you. They don't know nothing about expressing that they how much they really appreciated your help. Now I had a friend of mine, her and her husband was going through their ups and downs, and I remember she came to sleep on my couch for a couple of nights, and she was so thankful just for those 2 nights that I allowed her to come over and clear her head. She was up cleaning my apartment. She was up cooking in the kitchen, an expression of gratitude. There was no being resentful or any of that type of stuff. And that's how you know a person is truly a friend, by the way, because the relationship is reciprocal. And the person, they don't sit up here and they don't appear to be angry when things are going good in your life and things are not going good in theirs. That's how you know that you have a true friendship. And there were times when things are not going so great in my life and things are going good in her life, but I didn't take that out on her because faith ain't a hate. And there were times when I had lost my job. I remember I lost my job, and my girlfriend would still come over and get me and take me out to restaurants, and she would pay the whole thing. Now, if I was a hater, I would have been sitting up there angry and upset because she had it and I didn't. But you got people that would actually be sitting up there angry and upset with her just because she had it. They would not recognize the fact that she got it and she's sharing it with them. And so if you are a person that have ever exhibited these types of behaviors that I'm describing today, you are a hater, and you definitely need to check yourself because you're blocking your blessings. You'll never ever be happy sitting up angry at the world because things ain't going right for you. And that's what it is most of the time. These people are just angry at the world and they think everybody owes them. And when in reality, nobody owes you nothing. Nobody has to help you. Nobody has to give you a place to stay. Nobody has to give you money. These things are not owed you from the world. You owe that to yourself. You owe it to yourself to get yourself in a space where you're doing good and you're happy and you create an environment for yourself where you are happy. And if your friend has a man and that's treating them well, you don't sit up there and try to sabotage that union by stepping in between them. Because I've seen far too many women do this. The man sharing is off the Richter scale. There are plenty of men out here. Even if you have to go outside your race, there are plenty of men out here. No women should have to feel like she got to share anything. It's all in your head. But anyway, that's another. discussion right there. I don't want to veer up too far off the topic. But yeah, these haters in distress, these are people that will come into your life and they will mix up the balance of peace that you create for yourself, and it's not good for your psyche, and it's not good for the people that's in your home that you love either. If you have children, these people will purposely give your children bad advice because they don't like you and they don't like any extension of you. These people are master manipulators and they will sabotage everything that you got going good for yourself. So when you see a person exhibiting these types of behaviors, it's best to get them the hell away from you as soon as humanly possible. Like I said, go get that order of protection. And see if they know that there's going to be something that they could do to ruin you. Like me, I have a CDL, I have a CDL. And so I can't have any type of federal offenses on my record. This hater wanted to ruin me so bad that she tried to get me arrested and tried to get me hooked up with a felony. Now, her plan did not work, but I'm just trying to illustrate the lengths that people will go to sabotage you. Hold on a second. I have to focus on this here road real quick because I'm trying to maneuver. Yes, yes, they'll try to sabotage you, set you up, and get your soul down the river. And one another thing too that I want to talk about, because I want to talk about these so-called police. I would say, if at all possible, try not to involve the police in any of your domestic disputes if you can help it. Now, of course, if there's a how can I say, if there's a situation where it can't be helped and is a dire situation, then of course down 911. But for just regular domestic situations, it's best that you resolve those on your own. It's always best that you do that on your own, because what's going to happen is, if you keep calling the police to your home over and over and over again, they're going to eventually come to make an arrest. Somebody's going to go to jail if you keep playing. And it may be both of you, because I didn't know this either, but if the police is called to your house more than 3 times in a row, then on one of those occasions after that third time, somebody's got to go to jail, one or both. So try to resolve your disputes if you can. Like I said, if it's a dire situation, then it is what it is. You just got to do what you got to do. But a lot of times, these police officers, they are slick too. A lot of times, they will keep people in a volatile situation, just hoping that one day they can get an arrest out of that household. Because make no mistake, having an arrest under your belt as a police officer, that right there is a great quota filler, because it's showing that you're keeping the bad guys the so-called bad guys off the streets. So they are always, always, always hankering to make an arrest. Keep that in mind while y'all dialing 911 all the time. So if you're going to dial 911, make sure it's a life-threatening emergency and not just because you mad. Because these police are not to be played with. And a lot of times, you who call them, especially if you're not a Karen, if you're not a Karen, they're going to take your black butt to jail. I just got to keep it all the way 100% today. So just beware, beware. Our distress is not the same as their distress, and they don't treat us the same either. See, when Karen dials 911, Karen is going to get a different type of reception and response. But if Keisha dials 911, Keisha may get body slammed onto the ground and taken to jail too. Word to the wise. So, like I said, be careful with that. 911 should not be weaponized because you mad at somebody. But at any rate, I'm about to get ready to pull into the shipper. I wanted to make this one a short one this morning. I always want to have these morning talks. I'm going to do more of these. Shout out to everyone that filtered in this morning to listen to this live stream. You guys are the real MVPs. And once again, if you're listening to this, please like the stream and share the stream because it does keep me on top. And especially if you're listening to this on the replay, do like and share the stream. And with that, I'm going to say peace. I'm out.